Hey everybody, it's Jenny Keel with Launch Children's Ministry. I'm the director here. So here's the training for our 24-25 launch year. I'm going to go over the training as quickly as possible so that you aren't taking forever on this training and you can get back to your life. But if you have any questions after this, please reach out and let us know. So first of all, thank you so very much for volunteering for us. You have made multiple classes possible for children to be able to have a relationship with Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here are the people who are here for you in the Children's Ministry Office. So again, I'm the director, but I'm also the coordinator for pre-K through first grade. Kristen Ott is the coordinator for year 2 through 5th grade and also Voyage. And then we have Denise Jones, who helps us with sacramental prep assistance. Lynn Hodges is our office and volunteer coordinator. And then Susan Rhodes is our office administrator. She does all of our data and our records and everything there. So don't forget that classes start August 18th through the 20th. So make sure that you have that first day marked for you. To be able to volunteer, you have to have a Virtus training and a background check. So if those have not been completed, you need to have those done before classes start. So contact Lynn Hodges immediately so that you can get those things done. And her email should have been sent to you at one point in time, but if not, you can always find it on the Launch Children's Ministry website page. So some of the resources that we provide to you are able to be found on the Launch Children's Ministry website page. So if you go to st-ann.org/launch, then that gets you to the Children's Ministry page. And then you'll see under this section right here that says Catechist Resources, we have the calendar for the year. We have all of your lesson plans so that you can view those in advance, and it'll look like this. It'll take you to a drive, and then you can request a sub from like a sub page, those kinds of things. So you can find a lot of the resources that you're needing on the Launch Children's Ministry page under Catechist Resources for you. If you need to get a sub, we showed you where you can do a request for subs, but if you forget how to get to that page, you can always just email us or call us. If it's last minute, you definitely need to make sure that you call or text. So we're talking about less than 24 hours, no emails, please. Please make sure that you call or text Lynn or myself or Kristen so that we can get on somebody right away. And just making sure that you know that it is a ratio of 1 teacher to every 8 students. And so if we have more than 8 students, we need to have 2 teachers in a room, please. So once you get in, if you are new to Launch Children's Ministry, you may not know where to check in. So once you come into the Launch Children's Ministry section, which we are under the double doors of the portico on campus, so we're like in the drive-through area near Roswell Road, you'll enter in and then you'll take a left down the hallway. And there's this little like half door that's there, which you can see in the picture. That's where you are going to sign in. You're going to grab your name tag and everything and any other materials that we may have for you, and then you head to class. And you can let us know when you return all your stuff to that place if there's anything that the next class might need. So all your supplies are ready to go in your room. Here's a picture of what it kind of looks like when we're prepping them in the back area here. So all of your bins will have your lesson plans and all of the things that you will need for your lesson. Everything will be labeled and we'll let you know everything that you might need. However, if something is missing, please get Lynn Hodges, and that's a picture of her right there, because she's our volunteer coordinator. So she's going to grab any extra copies or supplies that you might need in your classroom, and she'll be the one that will help you out. So she's the one you need to hunt down if something is missing, because she preps everything so she knows where it's all at. During the first week of classes, it's going to be a little different than the rest of the weeks of classes. When you arrive, make sure you check in, make sure all your materials are there. I would suggest coming a little bit earlier on the first day just so that you can get your bearings. Parents many times like to walk kids in for the first week of class, and that's totally normal. We just need to make sure that when it's actually the start time that you say, okay, everybody, it's time to go because we need to begin. During the first week of class, the thing that will be a little different in your lesson plan is that we're going to add some get to know you activities, and then you can go over the rules and procedures for your classroom. If you need the rules, they're going to be on the wall that are there. They're called Fuel, and we'll go over those in just a little bit. But you can talk about different expectations that you might have on your class. lessons do start on day one. So it's not just to get to know you in a fluff day. After you do all those procedures and the get to know you kind of stuff, we will start regular lessons. If you want to have a contact sheet to hand out to your parents at the first day, that would be great. A lot of people do that. If you want to email it to me, I can print those off for you. You and your co-teacher can communicate to one another, and then you can do like a half page is usually what we do. So one person will be on the top half of the page, the other person will be on the bottom half. And it's just a little bit of get to know you stuff. So it's like, oh, this is my, background. This is my experience. This is if I've taught before, if I haven't, why I decided to do children's ministry, and then maybe an email or phone call, a contact for you if you would like to do that. Also, make sure that you take attendance every day. And if any kids are not on your roster that have shown up to your class, then you can send them to the front office and we'll kind of figure out what happened there. Sometimes we have really late registration people or people that just show up and hope to get into a classroom even though they're not registered. So we'll sort those out for you. After you've taken attendance, you can put your attendance sheet on the outside of your door. There's these magnetic clips, and you can put that there, and then we'll grab it from you. Again, if you're missing anything, please let Len know. For dismissal on the first day, this is going to be very different than it's going to be for the rest of the weeks. So make sure that you're paying attention for this. So Sunday people are going to be very different than all the other days. Sunday, for the very first day and for the first day only, what you're going to do is at 10 o'clock, and we will put this note in your classroom for you as well. At 10 o'clock, any kids that are carpool are going to head out to the carpool portico for dismissal. But the rest of you will continue on in class as if nothing else happened. So you're just going to keep going. We do not have worship the very first week of class. Monday and Tuesday, you are good to go. So you will just continue your class as normal and you dismiss at your regular dismissal time. So the only one for the first week of class that is very different is going to be Sunday. The Virtus rules. So if you haven't already had your Virtus training, make sure that you do. But if you haven't, if you've just forgotten the rules are you plus 2. So let's give an example. If you are in the classroom and one student has arrived and you don't have another co-teacher there or another student there, you may not be in the classroom with that student. You need to hang out in the doorway or out in the hallway until another witness individual, whether it's another student or another teacher, is in there with you. So you're not allowed to be alone in the classroom with one student if there's not somebody else present. The second that someone else enters the room, you're good to go. So those are just good reminders. Mandatory reporting. If you suspect, see anything, hear anything, any of that kind of stuff, you must report. You are a mandatory reporter and you have to report to the Department of Family and Child Services. If you have any questions about that at all, please ask myself. I am the Virtus and mandatory reporting facilitator for this facility. And so if you have any questions, come and talk to me and we can make sure that you do all the right steps. Attendance. So you're going to, again, take attendance every single week. If the kids are there, you're going to mark them with the check mark. If they're not, you're going to put an A for absence. If you have any students that might be visiting or guesting in your class, what you are going to do is write that child in and put the word guest next to them and then check off the day that they attended. If this is happening, we will let you know in advance if a child is guesting in your class to make up for another day that they may have missed. Again, you're going to put the attendance records on the outside of your door in the clip and we'll pick those up for you. Emergency procedures. These are listed on your wall in your classroom, and we will go over Code Purple a lot during the year, especially as we get closer to audit time. I'll send you out a video for Code Purple. But Code Blue is a weather alert. Code Orange is a missing kid, which you just stay put. And Code Green is all clear from any kind of an alert. And the fire alarm is just a fire alarm and you head outside. If there are any days that there are inclement weather or snow days or any of those kind of things that we're missing, we will let you know and notify you via text and via email if anything is changing on that. Again, these procedures and exactly what to do during them is in your classroom on a poster on the wall. So if you need those are there. Worship. Worship this year on Sunday is vastly different than it's going to be on Monday and Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday, you guys are just coming to worship in room 105 like you've always done, 10 minutes after classes start. However, if you are on Sundays, it is a completely new animal than it's ever been before. We are going to do worship all together, like all grades, upstairs in the Carroll Center gym at 10 a.m. However, worship is only for students who are staying for in-person pickup. If a student in your class is a carpool student, instead of going up to worship, they will go out to the launch portico to be dismissed. They will have carpool during worship time. So the only students that should be heading upstairs are the students that have been indicated they are in-person pickup. And what we're going to do is we're going to write those down on your attendance sheet so you know where they go. And what we're going to do is if you have more than 5 students at carpool outside, we're going to ask that one teacher go outside with them and the other teacher will head upstairs to worship. After worship is over, that is when students will be picked up in person. So you just stay put in the gym and the parents will enter in, find their kid, say goodbye to you, and head out from there. If you have decided to do worship in your classroom instead of all group worship, then you need to be upstairs in the Carroll Center gym by 10:15 for dismissal. Everybody will be dismissed from the Carroll Center gym from now on, not from the classrooms. It might take you a couple extra minutes to get up there, so make sure that you're taking off from your class around 9:50, 9:55, something like that, so you can get upstairs in time for worship. Again, the very first week of class, we will not have worship on any days. All right, so we talked about you going over rules and procedures on the very first day. We do have these rules that are listed in your classroom. We call them FUEL. They kind of go with the whole launch theme or whatever. So F stands for following directions. U is for using kindness and reverence. E is for engaging in prayer and worship and classroom activities. L is listening to the message and one another. And if they're having difficulty following these rules, we do have behavior reports that we can give you that show correlated consequences that you can give. So if they're doing blank, here is an exact consequence that would go for that if they're breaking that rule. Also, please, 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 if you are having difficulty with students, do not let it go on longer than it needs to. Take them to the office. Give yourself a break. You guys are not paid teachers. We don't want you to have to deal with more than you need to. Take them to us and we can get them out of your room so that you can continue to teach. If while you are teaching, if you would take photos, that would be so great. Parents love to see photos of their kids in class, and we send them out during the ministry updates. We put them on the Launch Facebook sometimes, but mostly we keep them in a Google Drive for parents so that they can see them anytime that they want to. So you can always send photos to me, or in our weekly emails, Kristen and I will be including a photo link that you can just upload them straight from your phone. And any students who are not allowed to have pictures taken of them, their parents have indicated that, and that'll be on your attendance sheet. And so you can keep your attendance sheet and make sure that you know which kids those are. Lunch leader roles. So as teachers, there should be 2 per classroom if the class is over 8 students, and you can decide with your other teacher how you want to coordinate that. If you would like to be co-teachers equally, and you can say, oh, I'll do this part and you do this part every day, it's totally up to you. Please make sure that you're prepared for your role every week, though, that you work kindly with the other teacher. Read the emails that we send out to you, because that's going to give you any information or changes that we have, and give us feedback. We don't know how these lessons are going unless we're teaching in those classes. So this year I am teaching a year 2 class and a year 1 class, and Kristen is teaching a 4th and 5th grade class. And so unless we're in some of our other classes this year, we may not know how some of those lessons panned out. We are not insulted if you say that just didn't really go well, or that was like a classroom nightmare, or whatever, a mess. So let us know how some of these things go so that we can fix them for next year. Because we take your feedback and we make changes. And the way that we communicate with you is that our classes run from Sunday until Tuesday. And so on Wednesdays, our brains turn back on for the next week. So we will send you emails on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how crazy busy we are, of the next week's lessons. But if you don't want to wait for those emails, we do have them on the Google Drive and they're ready to go, and they should be out there several weeks in advance for you. We also, if you want to sign up for the Remind text messages, we have those. The links for those are on the Launch Children's Ministry webpage, and you can get any of the reminder emails and texts that we send out to our parents. Also, if anything is happening, we put it on the Launch Children's Ministry website page. We put them in emails, we put them in the Remind text act, we put them on the Facebook, and information is also sometimes in the bulletin. If you would communicate with parents, they love to hear from you more than they like to hear from us, that's for sure. So if you want to do a weekly email or a newsletter or however you would like to do that, they would love to see pictures of their students in the class and hear from you on anything. You can also send out email reminders. We will put class rosters on after August 14th. It will be on your Google Drive for your catechist. And so on your rosters, you'll get any information there about the students that you might need to know. It'll also give all the emails for your parents. Carpool duties. So on Sundays, we need to make sure that and Monday and Tuesday, we need to make sure everybody's in the class 15 minutes prior to class starting, because that's when the students start arriving. On Sundays, we will rotate having some people volunteer to help us with drop-off duties. And if we're doing that, we'll send you an email the week before letting you know, hey, you're going to help out with drop-off. And what you're doing for there is just opening the car door, making sure kids get out, and then they don't get lost in the hallway. For carpool pickup, which we're going to have on Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays, we will also on Monday and Tuesday, we'll let you know if you are a pickup duty person and if you have that role. For Sundays, again, we talked about them being split, and so we'll need one teacher to help us out downstairs in carpool while the other teacher is going upstairs and helping in worship. So why are we here? I know with all that information, you're kind of like, I forgot even why I signed up to do any of this. We're here to help children grow in their Catholic faith. We want to ignite that Catholic faith so they stay a Catholic and a worshiping, following, on fire Catholic for the rest of their lives. And we do that by the ways that we help them in class to grow in relationship with God and each other. But don't forget, through all of this busyness, you are important too. So take your time for you to fill yourself so that when you're coming here on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, that you're not just totally burned out. And if you need a day where you just need a sub, not because you're sick or anything else, just let us know. You can absolutely take off a day for no other reason than you just wanted to take a day off. That's absolutely fine. So fill out a sub request form if you need that. If you have any questions for us, please let us know. So you can either reach out to myself at any time, or if I'm your grade level coordinator, or Kristen if she's your grade level coordinator, Lynn if you have volunteer questions, Susan if you have data questions like attendance or anything like that, or registration. We're here for you in all the ways that we can be. Thank you for watching the training. And if you have anything that you need from us, just let us know. We're here to serve. You have a blessed day. Thank you.